Aloha, friends and neighbors. Welcome to Astrology, Ancient Science in the Modern World. Rollin Frost here, living in Kona. Hey, I just got to turn you on to this. On the internet, a minor bird named Kaleo, K-A-L-Leo, L-E-O. I think that means the voice. Anyway, check the internet. Just Google Kaleo, the talking minor bird. There's a lady in Kona, where I live, who got this minor bird 3 days old and raised it, and you will be totally amazed. The minor bird, of course, is the little sister of Alala, the great raven, the most intelligent bird in the world, which I am still working on, and I'm going to protect and try to get back into the hands of people where it belongs. Anyway, Google Naleo, or Kaleo, with a K, Kaleo. Yeah, like, you'll be totally amazed, and you will be laughing and having fun when you listen to this minor bird and what it has to say. Heck, you could just probably Google Mina, M-Y-N-A, Mina bird talks. Well, you're sitting there at an amazing time if you're watching the Thursday or Friday night show, because Neptune is stopping. Neptune, you know, when a planet stops in the sky, when reverses direction, we call it stationing. It gets very powerful. And when Neptune does it here, well, all the big planets, basically it comes up for about 20 days, peaks out when it stops, and goes down about 20 days, depending on planetary angles from other things. So you're totally in the Neptune zone. It's going to stop for you on Monday. Yes, in the morning, as I recall, 10:44. There he is on the sky mirror. As the actor on the stage, I call him priest, artist, doctor, musician. He comes in a lot of shapes and sizes because he's a mutable water sign. But, you know, he always glitters, and he's a little bit phony. And so you're in a strange time when you're going to meet problems and people, sometimes that are downright phony. They're in their cups. They believed the thing, you know, and they're so sincere, like a priest or a doctor. Or here, take this drug. So there's a lot of stuff that you're going to be seeing pop up as Neptune stops in the sky. He takes the stage. And so this is the actor that you're going to be seeing the most of. It'll pop up for you in different ways. Sometimes it's just a bad smell from the fish that went bad. Because it has to do with Pisces stuff. Things of the ocean. Priest, artist, doctor, musician, actors. I discovered that a lot of gay folks are Neptune because they're such good actors. Drugs. Yeah, organic chemistry. Drugs are the same as pesticide. Antibiotic is just a pesticide for people. Oil of all kinds, all the hydrocarbons, from gas to oil to your propane, all kind of stuff. Pisces stuff, that's what it is. And you're going to be seeing a lot of it peeking out for you Monday morning. Yeah, Neptune is on stage, and he's making trouble. Why do I say that? Well, we've got a grand cross in the sky, Jupiter and Saturn, and the new moon, which started here the first of your month, or last month, that new moon was at 15 Gemini. Oh, that's only back 5 days, huh? Excuse me. So, gosh, that squared Jupiter, opposed Saturn, and squared Neptune. So if Neptune acts up on the stage, you know, what's happening is Jupiter is going to tell the truth. But most of all, Saturn here is at 12, and Neptune's at 12. Sag and Pisces, they're in square real tight. The new moon was at 15. And squares Jupiter more, and which is the lawyer, professor, wise man, the big large stuff, the You know, the minor birds are out there squawking in my yard. I have 2 of them. They're kind of wild guys, and I finally they came and peek in the window at me, and I go out there, and there was a big old mongoose in the yard. They didn't like that at all, and so they were giving the alarm, and they wanted me to come and see it. So they were tapping on the window. 2 wild minor birds. I give them the leftover cat food now and then. Wait till you see kaleo, you know, and what a minor bird does if you raise it by hand. Think of what an alala with a much higher IQ and bigger vocabulary was like. The great Hawaiian raven. Well, anyway, Neptune has to do with smoke and mirrors, dreams, things that aren't quite what they seem. They shift, they're clear. It's all foggy, gets foggy, that's Neptune. Then it clears up, and suddenly you see it clear. Inspiration hits. So inspiration is a good side of it. But, you know, you can't, so many things are smoke and mirrors, and especially the more glittery they are, the more famous they are. People who dress in furs and diamonds and dress all up in sparkly things, whether it's the Pope, you know, or the musician, or, you know, the psychic. They're just telepaths. They're really, they're not doing what you think. The doctor gives you a pill. You know what a placebo is? Every doctor takes a class in it. He give you a sugar pill and say, this will cure you if you believe in him enough. Neptune is belief. If you believe in the doctor, the sugar pill will cure you. They did a lot of studies on it. Seems like it works, but this belief thing, this faith, is a very religious thing. It comes from the heart. So you're likely, what'll happen to you as Neptune stops? Well, your sense of smell goes way up. You'll be smelling all kinds of different things because you're more sensitive. Your heart, your higher heart could open up. You could find yourself really much more compassionate suddenly. You know, you want to go save the poor homeless cats. Help out, you know, the cat people. Gee, they're Neptune folks. They're out there in the night, like Pisces, like, you know, and the fish in the ocean, and there's a lot of Neptune stuff that needs your help. There's a lot of water issues that need your help, real ones. So don't get distracted by movie stars and people who, you know, the USA government has really likes Neptune. Oh boy. So what, you know, instead of seeing the real problems of Neptune, you're probably going to see why the LGBTs are not going in the right bathroom. It's kind of a, you know, going to church could be a very wonderful thing and really inspire you. Or it could be a clown show, a circus show. You're going to see both of them, my friends. So for you, if you start to feel a little drunk, go a little slow, because this makes everybody a little drunk, especially Monday morning. And those that, you know, have trouble with your beliefs. Are your beliefs going sour? Yeah, a lot of them could, real easy, because there's a lot in this culture that you just fly on belief with. Do you believe that, you know, a man should go down if he has alcohol on his breath and he's driving? Is that a crime? No, it's a belief. Somebody told you that was bad and they made a law and you believed it. You know, nonsense. You know, I know I drive a lot better if I've had a beer or 2 beers. Of course, if I've had 10, no. Neptune's like that. A little music is really nice. Too much music, you're confused. So it's 2 sides of this coin. 2 little fishes on the tail. By the tail, their tails tied together. Well, I could go on and on about Neptune. I'm going to do more of it soon. Let's find out. We'll find out where he's making the fuss and stuff, and where we might see. While I'm here, look. How do you tell these big disasters? You remember a couple shows ago, several shows ago, I did the 1906 earthquake. First, a planet stations. Neptune is stationing. Then a lunation accents it. We had the June 4th or 6th new moon that in Gemini squaring Neptune exactly and setting it off. Finally, you look for the astrocartography, shows you where. So the station, and it tells you when. The lunation blows it up. and the astrocartography shows where. We'll do that with Neptune as soon as we're done with the sky mirror. And you'll see. Now, lots of times a grand cross like this just locks everything up. And when you expect the flood, well, Saturn stopped it. There was a drought, and it blocked it and got in its way, and Jupiter opposed it, and the thunderstorm happened to it. There's all kind of, and the new moon squared it. If something does occur with Neptune, if you have a Neptune problem, look out. It can get out of hand easily. What was a little leak in your pipe, when you start to fix it, blows up into a full-blown flood. So you better know where the main water shutoff is and be ready to get at it quick if you're doing any plumbing at home. And Neptune has a lot to do with your plumbing. Best not to drink. Best to read Jesus and sit under a tree and talk to birds. Anyway, what's it like? One of the things going to be most difficult is when the moon hits these four corners, see? It started down here back on June 6th or something. And anyway, where you're at now, the moon's in Leo, okay? And you're on Thursday night, maybe. Friday morning, the moon goes into Virgo, and you're going to start feeling some of this tension build up and obstacles. But, you'll get through Friday okay. Well, there's some slowdowns here about 9-10 o'clock. Here's the 12 degree, the square. It's actually right here. Okay, so this fine little tick marks are important. These lines, they're midnight Pacific Coast time, okay? You're 24 hours here. So here it starts kind of early. The little red mark tells you where the Saturn thing is at 12 degrees, which is 2 to 3 hours after midnight in the morning. So this is 2 or 3 a.m. West Coast time, Saturday. Things slowed down. They got cold. There was worries suddenly, and there's the opposition to Neptune at 12 degrees. So everything starts pretty early Saturday. You would not be surprised if they pile up on Friday the 10th, and you start to smell the fish. Look out! Once when I was really young, we went to Mexico and we went diving and got a whole bunch of clams, and we put them in this sack and threw them in the trunk, and then we went and partied, and we met a Mexican family and had a great time. And 2 days later, with our hangover, we hit the border, opened the trunk. Oh boy, 20 pounds of clams have been in there hot for 3 days, and there's your Neptune bad smell. So it's gonna come up Saturday morning. If there's a small leak, check it out and be very careful how you handle the bad smells and the leaks and the confusion. And somebody said, oh, this happened here, look out. They may have heard it from someone else who was lying. So Saturday is your day of challenge, okay? The first day, really. And Neptune stops right over here on Monday the 13th, a few days from then. So you're going to see a lot of stuff here on Saturday. Buckle your seatbelt. It could get wet. Could get confusing. We all got lost, and the car went in the irrigation ditch. Anyway, the problem continues, and by the time you get to Saturday afternoon and evening here, there's a square to the Sun and the Venus, and gee, we got nothing done, and we're unhappy, and we didn't have any fun, and that's the way it is Saturday night. Sunday morning, if you go out and do something real, you be a hero, go out and do something physical, you can get away with it Sunday morning. You're probably going to have to because of all the damage from the rain or the water or the flood or the bad smells out there. You're going to have to get out and fix them Sunday morning, so go for it. You got moon sextiles Mars. It's very nice. It's Mars in Scorpio. Dig out the bad smell and bury it someplace else. Mercury's happy in the afternoon of Sunday. The kids are running around helping with the work. The moon shifts into Libra here. That's what this mark is. See, this is Virgo. Here's Libra. And so Sunday afternoon, the moon shifts into Libra. It feels a lot different. You know, you're not so stuck anymore with all the Grand Cross. Not so worried. Well, a little bit anyway. Continues through Monday, the moon in Libra, and there's a nice sextile to Saturn, and we got some of the barriers and the difficulties straightened out, and the budgets, and we're managing pretty good here. We got Saturn power on Monday. A little panicky though, late Monday night. You know, this is 1 or 2 a.m. in Hawaii, and the moon is squaring Pluto, and gee, it's something. Is that a siren I heard? Is that a bug? Is that a mosquito in my room? Bzzz. Whatever it is, Monday night you'll be irritated by it, and by Tuesday there's this opposition to Uranus, and we got these old electrical mechanical things problematic, huh? But Uranus is not the actor being set off, so Uranus makes wind problems, huh? And earthquakes and sudden things. Remember, San Francisco was a Uranus phenomenon. Hurricanes, tornadoes are... No, we're going to deal with Neptune now. Neptune comes on very slowly. Uranus comes on, bang, suddenly, earthquake, tornado. But Neptune's not like that. Neptune gives you warning. The water rises slowly. The rain gets heavier and heavier. The smell gets worse and worse. You know, the drunk gets more and more confused. So it's like waves, huh? Yeah. Anyway, you can handle a lot of problems here Tuesday night. There's a nice trine to the Sun and to Mercury. Stay up late, get the job done. Wednesday morning, the moon goes into Scorpio. Feels good. Yeah. Late Wednesday night, early Thursday morning, here's a trine to Neptune. All you had to do was tighten that little washer in the faucet, and the dripping all stopped, and you fixed it, didn't you? And maybe it wasn't the thing you thought it was. Maybe it was exaggerated, because Neptune stopped Monday here, you know, and it's on a lunation, it's on a Grand Cross. You're stuck with this thing, and it got all out of hand. And Thursday morning, get up early and think about it a little bit before you start to do things, and you'll see it just dissolves. It was smoke. It was all smoke and mirrors, and you exaggerated it, and there really isn't that big a leak. And you can fix it. Here's a sextile to Jupiter. Wisdom comes. Here's how I do it. That happens just around lunchtime, before lunch, Thursday the 16th. And Pluto is in sextile. You know, you can handle the emergencies. Lunchtime and in the early afternoon on the 16th. Not bad at all. Moon in middle of Scorpio. But as you go into the later part of Scorpio, here's Mars. How comes the young guys, now they could fix things or they could do warrior trips. At the beginning of your week, Mars and Mercury were opposed, and there was a lot of angry talk and driving that was too fast. By the time you get to the moon going by Mars, Mercury's already up to 11, and it's getting close to falling into the opposition to Saturn and square to Pluto. The time you get to here, you got to watch the kids, because they're falling into this trap, and you know there's going to be problems with liquids. They didn't think there was water under there, but they fell through and there was water in there, and kids could get lost. A lot of mercurial problems. This is an accident-prone time. Big things pile up. So this is another crisis time. We had Saturday morning, the 11th, and now we got Saturday all day, the 18th. The Grand Cross is being set off. Keep your head down. Don't play with water. Investigate Neptune stuff. Okay, so there's some overdoing it is the theme Saturday night. Here's the square to Jupiter at 15 and the opposition to the lunation, and you're doing too much. Yeah, that. Anyway, this thing here, this Mars thing. We had a full moon on Mars, but not only do we have a bad new moon at 15, Gemini sets off the Grand Cross and Neptune stopping, but we had a bad full moon too. And that was on Mars, and we had heat and anger and a lot of stuff been going on for a month, and it comes back around, kind of finishes off its road rage or its hotness or fires here on Friday when the moon goes by Mars. And then it moves over here after we get through this circular Saturday. And if we're here's some good news. On Sunday, we have a nice trine to Uranus. Check the internet and they'll tell you how to fix that leak. Well, whatever it is, there's another full moon here, see? It's late Sunday night, 2 a.m. in the morning, Hawaii time, midnight, West Coast. The full moon's at 29 Sag, and it takes the burn off the Mars, We're no longer all angry and rushing around and ticked off. And put your swords away. The emphasis is now to not to do that. You don't have to panic and be violent. Well, wow, what a time. A Grand Cross. I've seen these a lot before, and I kind of hope it just freezes up. But Saturn squaring Neptune, a flood can't happen because it turned to ice. I don't know, but it's dramatic. It's very dramatic, and it's on Saturdays. And let's see if we can do a little work now on where it might be. Okay, here's the 3 rules of predicting these disasters. A planet stations, that's when they act up the most. It's a bell-shaped curve. When they stop in the sky, oh boy, a whole consciousness turns to that. A lunation accents it, we have that, and the astrocartography shows where. Oh, I got a lot to present to you here, but I got to be careful. Not much time. Here's the thing about this Neptune stuff. Whatever comes down, whatever's happening on these next couple of Saturdays and thereabouts, plus or minus a day, we're not done with it. Because when Neptune stops here on June 13th, 2016, well, it comes back again to the same place. March 10th, 2017, comes back again to the same place. October 6th, 2017, and finally again one final time it comes back to 12 degrees 02, January 7th, 2018. So this is like if you have a big flood or a tsunami or some major thing that could happen. What's the most major thing would be the big ice thing slides off into the water and the ocean goes up 2 feet. And, it would take you this long to adapt to it. Or maybe you're trying to clean up the flood mess. Whatever it is, you see there's potential for this thing to go on. When I had the water leak under my house, it went on and on and on and on for 6 months and more before we finally just had to go around it. Anyway, potential for long-term Neptune shenanigans is large here. And another reminder, the other side of this is that Neptune can be all smoke and mirrors. Neptune hit the Kona chart, and what happened was it wasn't flooding and stuff. There's a little extra water, but we had the great dengue fever thing happen and mosquitoes. And what occurs is you wind up looking all around. You're looking for these little mirrors, these little an empty bowl full of water, and when the mosquito lays its eggs as the water dries up, and then as it rains again, the water level comes back up, the mosquitoes hatch. So you're looking for these little puddles of water. They look like little mirrors, and that's a Neptune thing. The other side of it was pesticides. Probably hurt more people with the pesticides trying to kill mosquitoes. The whole thing was out of hand. And then all the doctors, and the health department totally failed. Everybody thought dengue fever was going to break all your bones and go to the hospital, and no, most people that get dengue fever never even feel it. So the whole thing was kind of a weird scare, and Neptune can do that, particularly if you were, let's say, in Brazil. Okay, here's another factor now I wanted to let you know about. This is the solar return. of the USA government, which happens July 5th. Now, I'm interested in that because my prediction of a hit in the East Coast on New York or something was wrong so far. Then I found a progressed moon in the USA government chart. I have a good chart, but that progressed moon opposed the ruler of the 10th house, probably more important than anything, and that didn't come up until July 7th or 8th. So it wasn't the opposition to the rising sign, it was the opposition to the ruler of the 10th house, the public rising sign. And that's what Rosicrucians found was sensitive. So I haven't given up on that hit prediction. Upshot is, okay, so I go look at the birthday of the USA government chart, July 8th, 2016. I'm saying, well, is there going to be a bunch of bombers over here in the 7th house? You know, is there any indication that we're taking such a problem? But what I run into, here's the moon at 10 degrees of Virgo squaring Saturn at 10 degrees of Sag and opposing Neptune at 11.5 Pisces. So here we have our Neptune stuff. Not only that, but the Neptune's conjunct the South Node. Oh, we need help. And it's in the 4th house. So this could be some water problems at home. Okay? And the moon here, the experts and such are not helping. And and Saturn here is also restrictions on transportation, communication. Everybody went into shell shock and they're not communicating. But here's this Neptune thing. Now, I don't know what this is. A huge oil spill? The sea level going up for a bit? Whatever it is, it's in the U.S. government's solar return. So it could hang on for a whole year. Here's another indication of an enduring Neptune problem. Oh, by the by, in my researches, I want to look at the lunations in Washington, D.C. I looked at the full moon June 20th, which goes until July 20th and covers the period I had for a hit in the New York, maybe Washington. Anyway, what is there? Over here, the full moon has Pluto opposing the rising sign in Washington. Now, this is not what you want to see if you're afraid of anarchists and bombers and terrorists and all that kind of thing. Here's a solid indication that the hit is going to happen, in the month following June 20th. Finally, the astrocartography for June 20th shows problems over here, South America, the circle place, down New Zealand here, over here, over here. There's the 4 hot spots that we're going to find in the world where Neptune and Mercury are going to make trouble for us.
Oh my goodness. You love me so much. Do you love when I give you papaya? Do you like papaya?